Hello, hello. Yeah, so I'm live. It's been a while. I have the live sessions, and that's why I'm playing the music. Yeah, I usually don't play any song before I start. I just start right away. But I want to wait a bit to see if anyone joins in. And I love this song anyway, and it's the song of the day. So enjoy it for a few minutes before I start. This one now my heritage, this one now my culture, this one now my tradition. I will follow Jesus. In love, no they die. This one now my heritage, this one now my culture, this one now my tradition. I will follow Jesus. In love, no they die. For a very long time, I've come to know all about another country. For a very long time, I've come to know another nation. My name is Mary. I come from Zion. I'm representing yes. I'm representing the Most High on earth. This one now my culture. Alright, so I can see people joining, so I'll just start right away. In love, no they die. This one now my culture. In love, no they die. You know what? Let's finish listening to this song. It's given me everything. Everything I need. My life is not by chance. Neither yours. Yes, I left everything at the cross. This one now my culture. I will follow Jesus. In love, no they die. This one now my culture. Alright, that's it. So I'll get to it right away. Let's start. Yes, this is my heritage. Okay, so today I'm glad to look at the topic one-stop shop for marriage. The one-stop shop for marriage. Yes, I've been on a break for some months now from the live videos series. So today I'm resuming again. I didn't even plan that I was going to resume today, but God just dropped this on my heart, and I feel I should just go right ahead and come back. I don't know if I'm going to go on another break, but I'm here today by the grace of God. So today we are looking at the one-stop shop for marriage. Now when we talk about a one-stop shop, yes, yippee! Yes, Thank you, Cynthia. I know you've been troubling me. When am I starting all over again? Okay, so we are starting again today. All right, so the one-stop shop for marriage. What do I mean by the one-stop shop? When we talk about a one-stop shop, we are talking about a place where you can go to for all your needs, where you get everything you need. A one-stop shop is a place where you can, let's use the physical terms now. When you get to that one-stop shop, you get your grocery needs met, you get your gardening needs met, everything you need, even things you need for your workshop, everything you need. All right, your toiletries and so on, you get them in that one-stop shop. Now, when I'm talking about a one-stop shop for marriage, I'm talking about a place where all marriages can go and just plunge in and get what they need from that shop. Now the question is there really a one-stop shop for marriage? Is there really a one-stop shop for marriage? Interestingly, when I was ruminating on the topic, I was actually trying to wonder what kind of topic is this. But as I thought about the topic, the one-stop shop for marriages, my mind was taken to Paul and Barnabas, the story of Paul and Barnabas. Can you read it up in Acts chapter 15? They actually had been working together, going for mission work in different places together. But they had a disagreement in that chapter 15 of the book of Acts of Apostles. And what was responsible for their disagreement? A guy named John Mark. Barnabas was bent on, I want John Mark to go with us to our next trip. But Paul said, never. That guy cannot go with us. Why? He already messed up before, so he's not going with us this time around. You would have thought that because these two men are spirit-filled men, they are men after God's own heart, that there will be no issues, that they will just resolve their issues, simply. But it did not happen. The Bible says that the argument became, a really hot one. And they had to separate. They had to part ways. And Barnabas, he went along with John Mark, while Paul had to pick someone else, and that was when his journey with Silas began. Now, here is what I want you to see. You might say, okay, we're talking about marriage. Why am I talking about apostles? Men, two men for that matter. Now, here it is. We see two men with two different personalities. We see Paul and then Barnabas. Now, Barnabas is from his attitude, from his outlook to life, you would see that he was a soft person, tender, all mushy. He was out to give second chances and third chances and fourth chances and fifth chances. That was Barnabas. But Paul, he was a soft person. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready to take any form of nonsense. So that was Paul for you. He was a soft person. He wasn't tender like Barnabas. He won't change his mind just because you said he should change his mind. So that was Paul for you. No nonsense guy. All right. So principled and soft guy. That was Paul. You see two people with two different personalities, and that is exactly how it is in marriage. You see two people coming together in marriage. Now we can look at it from two angles. Let's imagine that Paul was a man and Barnabas a woman. Now I won't only look at it that way. The other side I would like to look at it is, let's just look at both of them as husbands in two different families. So we have Mr. Paul and then we have Mr. Barnabas in two different families. Now you do not expect definitely that what works in family A is going to work in family B. Now that is the issue that many people many marriages have nowadays. You see someone from family 5 trying to absorb everything going on in family A or family 1, trying to say, okay, whatever is going on there, I would adopt it into my own family. Now that is where most of our problems arise. That's where most problems in marriages come from. You see someone's husband doing a certain thing for that person, and then you feel because your own husband is not doing it, he is not doing right by you. Now, the truth of the matter is, you do not expect somebody with the attitude or the characteristics of Paul as a husband in one family to, relate with his wife the same way someone like Barnabas will relate with wife. Someone like Barnabas would be someone like a cuddly person, very romantic and all that. But someone like Paul would be like, excuse me, we've got work to do, let's just do this. It doesn't mean that he doesn't love his wife, but it is just who he is, and it is just what it is. All right, so the earlier we understand that our marriages are different, because the personalities involved in the marriages are different, the earlier we would find solutions to our issues. So instead of you giving yourself headaches because your husband is not acting like the husband of your friend, you will sit down and look for a way forward. Because really, to answer the question that I asked, is there a one-stop shop for all marriages? There is no one-stop shop for all marriages. And that is the truth. It amazes me when I see people bring, maybe their marital issues on social media, asking for counsel, and then you see different people giving them different counsels. Why? They're coming from different backgrounds. They have different opinions about the issue. Now the problem is, if you just take whatever they are saying, hook, line and sinker, and go apply it in your home, it might not work. For that person giving you an advice, it might be for her that once he just psychs the husband and all that, he will gel and then drop all his gra that he's doing. But for you, it might not be that. There might be something else that you have to do. So that is why I said there is no one-stop shop for marriage. So we have to get that right. There is no one size fits all for everybody. It is not like, marriage is not like Balogun market where you go to and you get all your clothing materials. No, marriage is not like that. Your marriage is peculiar to you. Your marriage is unique. And it is unique because you are unique and your spouse is unique. There are no two people that are the same. Even twins. The way a Taye will react to his wife will be different from the way a Kehinde will react to his wife. Because if two people were to be the same way, I think we would have had over years coincidences where we have two people with the same thumbprints. But till today, we still use thumbprints to identify people. That is to say that no two people are the same. So therefore, no two marriages can ever, and I mean that, can ever be the same. Now the truth is, there might be things you might be able to pick up from other people's counsel, from things that have worked for them in their marriages. But you must be able to know whether it's going to fit into the uniqueness of your own marriage. So what do we do? If I say that there is no one-stop shop for marriage, what you do is to build your own shop. Yes, you build your own shop. You build your own shop. You build your own shop. As much as it is good to read books, to go for to listen to people's counsel, to do all of that, you must build your own shop, a customized shop for your own marriage. There must be a customized shop for your own marriage, and in that customized shop you have all your needs. So that is a one-stop shop for your own marriage, not for all marriages. There's no one-stop shop for all marriages, but you can build a one-stop shop for your own marriage, where your emotional needs are met, where your financial issues are solved. Okay, so you build your shop. So that's the challenge I'm putting out to you today, to go build your shop, to go build your own shop. Now, with what will you build that shop? The first thing is self-discovery. You need to discover yourself, discover who you are, what you want, and then you need to understudy your spouse. You need to understudy your spouse. So you need to discover each other. Then there's that need for self-discovery. There's that need for you to discover the peculiarity of your spouse. Now, when that happens, you'll be able to fit your marriage into, what it really should be. And that is going to work around the people in the marriage, because it is the people in the marriage that make the marriage. If the heads of the people in a marriage are not correct, that marriage cannot be correct. So it has to be that you look at your spouse. You need to understand your spouse. You need to understudy your spouse. You need to understand yourself. The truth is, some people do not even understand themselves, not talk of understanding the other person. So you have to undergo that self-discovery process. Discover yourself. If I ask you now, for instance, what's your love language? Do you even know it? What communicates love to you? You need to understand yourself and then understand your spouse to build that shop for your marriage. It has to be a customized shop for your marriage. So discover yourself and then understudy your spouse. So when both of you have undergone this, discovering yourself, what does it like? What does it not like? What does she like? What does she not like? What are the things that pisses her off? What are the things that turns him on? What are the things that turns her off? You need to understand. You can't even compare your wife or your husband with somebody that you dated before you got married. It's a different ball game altogether. So in building your own shop, that shop that works for you, that shop that is going to meet your needs as a family, as a marriage, you need to undergo self-discovery. That's the first thing you need to do. Self-discovery. Discover yourself and then discover your partner. Now, in doing this, there are two elements that I think are very, very important. And the first thing is openness. Openness. You have to be open. You have to be sincere with yourself. Openness. The Bible says, and they twain shall become one. Okay? Two people shall become one. They will come together to become one. But because before they can become one, they must be open, naked and unashamed, right? So they must be open to each other. So for you to have a successful marriage, for you to have a good marriage, because there is no marriage that does not have its own, those points. There is no way you won't come to that point where you have the itches and all that. All right? So, but when you come to that place, you'll be able to resolve your issues amicably if you have undergone this, this process of self-discovery and building your shop, so that when those times come, you'll be able to plunge in and draw out from there what you need to resolve your issues. So yes, self-discovery. You need to be open. Be as open as you can. I say it, if one person is sane in a marriage and the other person is not sane, the marriage cannot work. So in this case, I'm talking about two people that are ready to make their marriage work. Yes, two people that are ready to make their marriage work. So to make it work, if you two really want to make it work, this is one thing you need to do. Be open. Be open. Be totally sincere with your feelings. Be sincere with your feelings. Express yourself. Be sincere with who you are. No hiding. No, hide. It's no longer a hide and seek game. No more games. You have to be open and sincere. Okay? And then the other thing that you need is sensitivity. You need to be sensitive to your partner to discover who this person is. If you are patient enough to relate with that person's emotions, to relate with how he reacts at certain times, maybe when he's under stress from work, or when something is not going on fine, you try to understudy how he reacts, so that it won't be that, I was even asking him for flowers and he was just, putting his head up like this. It won't be like that. So you have to be sensitive and be open. In the process of self-discovery, you're going to discover your spouse. You have to be sensitive to his needs, to his attitudes, to the way he reacts to issues, to the way he lives his life. And this actually spans from courtship into marriage. Yes, it doesn't start when you're married. It actually starts right from courtship, and that is why I'm always very particular about single people. Be sensitive. You have to be sensitive, and that sensitivity has to grow in marriage. It's going to be easier for you to know, okay, it's not time for me to talk right now. Okay, this is the right time for me to talk. You won't be able to find that out if you are not sensitive. So you have to be sensitive to your spouse. So the first thing you need in building your marriage's shop, that's the shop for your own marriage, is self-discovery. Now the second thing you need to build your shop is communication. You need to communicate with each other what your needs are. You need to communicate with each other. This is me, as in we are two different. There is no two Omolola, Mary, Omoshebi. Okay, there are times I try to be funny and just while away time. There was a day like that. I typed in my name and I put my names. I mean, Omolola, Mary, Omoshebi. Okay, and I didn't find someone with exactly the 3 names. Okay, so that is it. I know there might be some people somewhere, maybe because they did not put all 3 names. All right, maybe there's an Omoshebi, Mary, Omolola somewhere. Yes, but I didn't find any that day, and that is to tell me that I am unique. Even if I found someone else, we couldn't be exactly the same. We couldn't have studied the same course. We couldn't even have married the same husband. Okay, so we are just different. So what it applies to me will be different from what applies to you. So we need to be ready to communicate your emotions, be ready to communicate deeply with your spouse. That's the only way, is the key to having your shop really stocked up with what you need to go through life. By the time you already understand that, okay, this is what my husband does not like, you will avoid doing that. You will avoid taking those steps. All right, so, and it's going to make the marriage work, so that at times when you now enter into ditches on the way, on your ride towards greater years in marriage, and you enter some ditches on the road, you already have your store stocked rather. Okay, so you have it stocked with what you need to grow and to live together in peace. So what the key for communication is honesty. Be honest with your emotions, be honest with how you feel, be honest with what you really feel. I learned this before I even got married, and it's one key that I hold on to, and that is not living our lives as couples with unresolved issues. It is what kills marriages. Unresolved issues. You need to resolve your issues. You need to talk it out. Don't assume. Talk it out. Okay, I don't love this. I don't like this. This pisses me off. I don't like you putting used cotton board on the ground. As in, like, gosh, what is this? Communicate it. But of course, do it lovingly. You're communicating with the view that, okay, I want this marriage to work. We want this marriage to work. So we want to blend. So for the blending to occur, you must be ready to communicate. You find out that many people don't even know their spouses. Yes, you can't know someone in totality in a day. It's a process. You keep getting to know that person. But the truth of the matter is, it's going to be an easier process if you communicate your feelings, if you communicate with each other without hiding anything away, with all honesty. So communication is key in depositing into that account, into that store, in stocking your shop for the future, for situations that are going to arise later. So it's very important. 1, self-discovery, and 2, communication. We need to learn the art of communicating with each other. That's the only way your souls will connect, truly connect with each other. So know that there is no one-stop shop for all marriages. So before you take the advice from someone else, make sure you have a test run with your own machine, with your own marriage, to see that it really works. Just because you see a battery that works with another vehicle does not mean that it's going to work with your own vehicle. It might not work perfectly with yours. All right, so they are both batteries, but it might not work with your own machine. So it's the same thing with marriage. There's no one-stop shop for marriage, but you need to build your own shop where you go to. If you don't build the shop, when the need arises, there will be nowhere to go to grab something. And so if you refuse to build your shop today, when issues arise tomorrow, you will still have to crack your brain, and you just keep wondering, what is wrong with this guy? What is wrong with this man? What is wrong with this woman? You keep going in that vicious cycle, and the issues will continue because you won't be able to resolve it. But if you come to this place where you sit down and understudy each other, make sure you go through the process of self-discovery and then communicate thoroughly with each other, you would have your store really stocked. And when issues arise along the line, you will have something to fall back on. Now, the last tip I have for you in building your own shop and in running your marriage is, don't go shopping in another person's store. Yes, you know what? Close your eyes to other stores. Close your eyes to other stores. Now, I'm not saying that it won't happen, that there are things you admire in other stores, but don't make it a standard for your own marriage. For instance, you might have a couple that, for them, what works for them, what really makes them really close, is the fact that they run a single account, a single bank account. It might not work for you. Is the truth. It might not work for you. So if you say, oh, because my mentor and his wife, they run a joint account, a single account, they are both signatories to the account, all right, that's what I want to run in my whole marriage, you might crash. So that is why I said, focus on your own store, build your store, communicate. This is what we want our marriage, this is the model we are building for our own marriage, for our finances, for our emotions. This is how I love to be shown love. This is how I love to be, to be treated. This is how I love to be talked to. This is when I prefer that you raise issues, communicating and building your own store with your own customized goods. So that is it. You have to create your own shop and stock it with your own needs, with needs that are peculiar to your own marriage. So for a satisfactory shopping experience, these are the things that you need to do. Number 1, self-discovery. 2, communication. And to enjoy it above all, shut your eyes towards other stores and focus on your own store. Build your store and continually deposit in it. Don't say, oh, I already know my husband today, so there's nothing to understudy again. You need to keep understudying each other. You need to keep communicating. Our needs change with age, with time, with situations around the environment and all that. Everything could change, and that is why it's a continuous process. So you have to continually deposit in your own store, the one-stop shop for marriage. Go build yours. Go and build your own store, the store for your own marriage. Learn not to compare your own marriage with another person's marriage. Whether you're married already or not, I want us to hold this really tight in our hands. There is no one-stop shop for all marriages. All right, I hope this blesses you. I believe it's for somebody, definitely. If God laid it upon my heart, it's for somebody to hear this. Maybe you have been comparing your marriage with another marriage. Maybe you have been, doing things because you feel that is the way it should be. Maybe because of things you have read, or because of things you have seen from previous relationships, and you just think this is how it must be. It mustn't be like that. You need to understudy your own relationship, your own peculiar relationship, your own unique marriage, and then build it. Build it. It has to conform to the image that God has for, in plan. God created marriage. God is the author of marriage. He created your marriage. He instituted your marriage. And is the one that has the perfect picture of what your marriage should look like. So not another couple. If what works for them is working for them, fine. You need to discover what works for you as a couple. So that is it. That is it. One-stop shop for marriage. There's no one-stop shop for all marriages. Go and build your own. Yes, go and build your own. Thanks for watching. In case you don't know me, I'm Omoshebi Mary Omolola. Yes, I'm Omoshebi Mary Omolola. I hope to see you again next time. Stay blessed and don't ignore your own shop. God bless you.
Ooh, this is it. Oh yes, I was made for this. Oh, I was made for